Hi, everyone. My name's Anne, and I'm a career coach from the career education team here at Western. First off, I just want to welcome you to Western. I mean, it's no mean feat to come from a country overseas and come to study here. And so I just want to welcome you. I know that it can be sometimes some sort of adjustment coming into a new space and trying to adjust. I think for everyone, for anyone really, when you're adjusting to something new, it can be tough. I mean, take a look at me. I'm finding it hard, as you can see, to adjust to 2023. I still have my dates as 2022, so I apologize for that. But I mean, let's get started. The reason I'm here today is to talk about careers. I mean, you've come for an education, but probably for most of you, you're also looking to build a career, right? So, and that would go anywhere from finding an internship or a job on campus, summer jobs, how to set yourself up, working with your resumes, all of that stuff, right? So that's what I'm here to talk about. So, I mean, our team is located in the UCC. I don't know if you're familiar. It's the University Community Center. That's probably where the Starbucks, Tim Hortons, a lot of the rec things or fun things or food things are. So that's University Community Center, and we're located on the second floor, so 210 UCC. And just to talk about some of our popular services, it's one-to-one career appointments are maybe the most popular. And that's where you can get 30 minutes with a career coach such as myself or any member of my team to talk about where you are in your career and where you're looking to go. We offer services such as interview prep, so helping you prepare for that next interview. So we have peer mock interviews that would help you prepare for that. We have resumes, cover letters, CV review. I know that a lot of times it can be challenging to translate your resume or CV into a Canadian style resume, right? And so we can offer some services. We do have tons of resources on our website, career.uwo.ca, but you can also visit us to get a review of your resume, your cover letter, or your CV, and even your LinkedIn profile if you have one. We also support with further education. So perhaps maybe someone's looking to go into PhD or another master's or whatever it is. We can support with that process. Jobs and internship search, that's probably the number one question we get asked by international students is how to find a job, how to find an internship. We also offer a lot of career events and workshops, and further on in the slide, I will be walking through some of the ones available. I would say that on some of the slides coming up, I've got dates of different workshops or events coming up. So if you've got a pen and a paper, I'd say take down those dates because most of them are starting in January. The Western's Employment Resource Center is what helps with that process of the resumes, cover letters, CVs, LinkedIn profile reviews. So we have a team of career profile advisors who help with this. They help with peer-to-peer assistance for all students, whether you're undergrad, graduate, international, what have you. And like I mentioned earlier, we help with that, with getting feedback for you on your resume, your cover letter, LinkedIn profile, CV. Again, practicing interviewing skills is one of the things that we do, and you can drop in. You don't necessarily have to book an appointment. You can drop into our space. I believe they're there Mondays to Wednesdays from 9:30 to 12:30. I think they will be starting up probably next week or the week after, but as soon as things start to ramp up, you'd start to be able to access those services. Workshops. So a lot of workshops are starting. We have these workshops coming up. So resumes, so that's developing a strategic branded document, cover letters, crafting compelling cover letters. We have job search strategy, so helping you figure out what's your first step in when you're looking for a job. Designing your life is one that's really popular and it's gaining a lot of momentum. It helps with thinking through the entire plan, not just today's plan. So thinking about what's the next 5 years, 10 years going to look like, and how do you start to strategically map out those different paths, right? Networking. a lot of people get scared or afraid when they hear the word networking, because networking can be a daunting task. Not a lot of people like to walk up to a stranger and speak to a stranger. But in Canada, I would say that that's one thing that helps set you apart, especially in that job search process or building your career even. And so we do have a workshop on networking that just helps debunk those myths about networking and helps you figure out how to do it. Interviewing excellence, so getting ready again for that next interviewing, understanding the kinds of interview questions and the strategies to answering different interview question types. LinkedIn is, tying along with networking, LinkedIn is great for networking if you know how to use it. But for some people, I hear a lot of people say that, especially people who are maybe not in the business line, they're saying, LinkedIn, I didn't think LinkedIn was important because I'm not in business. I think it's more for business people. I'm in sciences or healthcare or, I don't know, engineering, whatever. And I don't think LinkedIn is useful for me. I'd say LinkedIn is useful for everybody. So if you don't have a profile, I'd encourage that you attend that workshop. And for international students, we do have a workshop called Canadian Career Realities. And that's going through what your reality would look like. Sometimes I'm sure if you're in your home country and you needed to set for a job, you kind of understand what to do because it's familiar ground for you. But this is new territory, and understanding those different realities here in Canada in terms of your job search would be something that would be useful. So these workshops start January 11. You could use the QR code. It takes you to the link where you see the different workshops available, as well as how to sign up for them. We have 2 sessions each for each of the workshops, and they're in person and virtual simultaneously. So I'd say look at those dates and plan to attend. If you cannot be there in person and you can connect virtually, that's what I would recommend, that you try to figure out what works best to attend the workshops. Okay, this is a super busy slide, but don't worry, I've got cards here that kind of speak to that, so a mirror of that, and that's working on campus. Most people are looking for a job, right? And they're like, how do I find work on campus? What do I do? What places to search? And so these are some departments that are previously hired students. I wouldn't go through the list now, but you can see that there's tons. And it's not places that maybe you already knew to look for a job. But if you're looking for a job on campus, there's a lot of information here that's useful. Like I said, there's cards over here that I can definitely give out at the end for you to go through. Now, Western Connect is one place that I find that a lot of students are not even aware exists. Most people have OWL, and that's because it's used in their program, right? But Western Connect is one spot that you probably want to take note of. It's connect.uw.ca. And when you go onto that website, you go to the Western Sign In and log in as a student. And let's see what Western Connect helps with. So you probably get a dashboard when you log in as a student. Over on the left, we see the different tabs at the side, job postings, so you can look up job postings from employers who are looking to hire Western students. And so they would post jobs on that site, and you can filter based on if you're looking for like an on-campus job or a summer job, or a job while you're just something part-time or full-time or experience, whatever you're looking for. You can go through that list to find what jobs are available. Internships and co-ops, for people who have those in their program, they can take advantage of that. That's where you can also go to book a one-on-one appointment with a career coach. Event calendars is super useful just because a lot of the different events that we have are listed on the calendar. You can go over there. That's where you would register for a workshop as well. And so you can go on there to search up events that might be useful to you. We have employer information sessions, which are really good because that's a way for you to connect directly to an employer. So we have tons of those sessions on the events page, as I would encourage that you go take a look. I will highlight a couple of sessions or programs. So Western Serves, Learn to Lead, Impact Experience, Own Your Future. These are some of the things that can be useful to you. So I'm just going to go over some of them on the next few slides. So Learn to Lead is one of them. That's a way to gain a wealth of knowledge, right, that can help you become a truly effective leader. So we have this program. This conference takes place twice per semester, September, November, January, and March. So very likely if you go to that events calendars page, or rather on the Learn to Lead tab over in the corner, you will be able to get more information on what's happening for the next one. And it's two-tiered. The certificate program is two-tiered. So if you do 4 workshops, you get a Learn to Lead leadership certificate. And if you do the 8 workshops, you get the Learn to Lead advanced leadership certificate, right? And these are formally recognized on your co-curricular record. So if it's something you might be interested in, I'd say that you take some time to check it out. Own Your Future is another such one. This one's targeted mostly at PhD students, but even as a master's student, you can take advantage of it. So it's professional development to help you translate those skills that you're learning, especially in the PhD program, and how that translates to the world of work. So if you want to, it's on the Western Connect page. So we have a couple of events coming up. Careers in Federal Government Day. So someone who's looking to work in the federal government space. This is happening January 26th of 2023. It's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's virtual. So I'd say go to career.uw.ca. And if you click on the tabs that says Take Action, you should find some information on Careers in Federal Government Day. But it's happening virtually this year. 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., January 26th. Our first career fair of the year is happening February 2nd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's in person. It's happening in the Mustang Lounge of the UCC, again, University Community Center. That's, again, where the Tim Hortons or the Starbucks is. That's where this would be happening February 2nd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So if you're looking to attend that. We do have a preparatory workshop that's tailored to help students prepare for the career fair, and that's happening on January 25th. You'd find more information on the events page on Western Connect. Impact experience. So this is an opportunity to engage with the local community. I hear a lot of international students say they've come in and they don't have Canadian work experience, and apparently Canadian work experience is a thing. And you're looking for ways to gradually build that. I'd say impact experience is a great way. I mean, it's not a lot of time. It's, again, February 20th to 24th. It's during reading week. And so you have a chance to engage with the community, work on a project. For this year, they're looking for 15 participants, and it opens up, registrations open up January 10th. And it's on a first come, first served basis. So if it's something that you might be looking to do during reading week, I would say go to impactexperience.uw.ca to check it out and sign up on January 10th. Now, I wanted to talk about something that, I mean, could be a challenge when you're in a new country. I mean, I spoke about this earlier on at the start, talking about coming into a new country and trying to navigate the different things. And one of the challenges that we find that most students might struggle with is the Canadian workplace. I mean, once you apply for a job and you get started working, how do you engage with the different people? What do you do on your first day? Those sorts of things. So the first thing I would like to say is I'd encourage that you know your rights as a worker within the Canadian workplace. And for those, I would say look up Canadian Human Rights Act, the Employment Standards Act, as well as the Ontario Human Rights Code. These are resources that could help you understand your rights as a worker, right? So that nobody takes advantage of you while you get started working. But now I just wanted to highlight quick touch, and I'm nearing the end really, on some cultural differences that you might experience as you get into either the workplace culture or even to life at Western, really. Eye contact apparently is a thing. When you're saying hello to someone, you don't shy away. That eye contact gives you that confidence that you need when you're engaging with any individual. So not to drop your eyes. I know I've seen this happen. I mean, again, you're new. It's easy to just be like, I'm shy, that sort of thing. But eye contact is a thing that just helps you connect with the individual that you're speaking with. A lot of environments, organizations are scent free. I know that was a challenge for me as well, because you're like, oh, I'm a lover of perfume and I have all these perfume bottles, but you come to Canada and you're like, well, there's almost no word to use the perfume just because most organizations are scent free. And I mean, the reason is that there's a lot of people who might be having challenges, maybe might be allergic to some of these. And so you want to be mindful of the next person. So I would say that be mindful of that as you get into either Western or even to generally into the workplace. Personal space is a thing. So COVID actually has helped us cope with this, because now kind of people just know to leave about 2 meters when they're speaking to the next person, rather than get up in people's space when they're talking to them. So it's just one thing to be mindful of in the workplace. Small talk. This is another one I found really challenging, because I'm one person that when I get into a workplace, I take my time, observe, and so I'm not talking a lot. You'd ask me a question, I'd give a one-line answer just because I don't know what to say. But small talk is a thing. It's gonna come up. People will walk up to you and ask you, how was your weekend? And they expect you to say something. So I know it's a challenge I sometimes have even right now. But it's just one thing to be mindful of. Sometimes people might ask you leading up to the weekend, do you have any plans for the weekend? And so sometimes I have this thing in mind where I'm like, okay, I need to plan what I'm going, my response when someone asks me if I have any plans for the weekend. I'd encourage that you stay away from sensitive topics. If there's something that's sensitive to you, or you feel might be sensitive in the environment that you are, stay away from those topics. If you don't feel comfortable talking about something, you can let the person you're speaking with know, or you can just avoid the topic or go away. You don't have to say something that you're not comfortable speaking around. I'd encourage you to speak up. It goes back to my earlier thought about me not wanting to speak up when I'm in a news space. But it's one thing where people expect that they want to hear your voice. You've got a contribution, you've got a lot of experiences, and you're encouraged to speak up and share your ideas, your thoughts on a subject. That's not very clear, but it does say demonstrate good work etiquette. So coming in, getting your job done, asking questions. If you've got questions, if you're unclear about something, it's best to ask questions, get clarity before you do your work, rather than just go into it thinking you understood what the person says and then end up not really understanding and doing a good job. And so it's just a couple of different things that might be differences. Some of them maybe you're like, yeah, and I already knew this. This is normal. This is typical. But for some others, you're thinking, okay, something for me to be mindful of. So I just thought to bring up a couple of these differences that might come to play while you look for work or while you're working in Canada. There's a couple of places where you can connect with me or connect with my colleagues. Like I mentioned, the UCC second floor 210. That's where our office is. We do have drop-ins. So career coaches have drop-ins Monday to Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. You can speak with walk in without an appointment and speak to a career coach. I also would most of the time be at the Global Cafe that happens on Thursdays. I believe the first one's happening next week, Thursday. And so I do attend those sessions. So if you see me around there, you can ask a quick question. I'm happy to help as well.